So in this video, I'm going to try to make this fan stop squeaking. It's really noisy. I'll cut the video here where you can hear it as it starts vibrating. So I'll give you a couple different ways of looking at. It's usually the blades that are out of balance, and so you can put a weight on there, so I'll work through that. Other times it's just loose pieces somewhere in there, so I'll test each one of those or kind of show you how to do that. So I'll just start it up here and just kind of show you, give you a sample of it already. But it seems to be really at one speed that it does it. Sometimes does it at a little bit higher speed. So I'm really just trying to find the best way to balance the fan or figure out, what's this vibration that's causing this noise, because obviously it's no fun trying to sleep with this kind of a noise, or really kind of annoying anytime. You can hear it's pretty constant, kind of up and down a little bit, but it's overall really obviously annoying. So the first thing I do, as I mentioned, is just going to kind of look around, make sure everything's solid. So the first thing to check is the fan blades. So sometimes they're exposed, other times like this has a light kit on it, so I have to take that off just to get access to it. If you've never seen the fan blades, these you have 2, sometimes they have 3 screws on them. I'm really just going through and tightening up, just make sure they're all tight, because first I got to get a little bit better access here, just so that that light wasn't falling off while I'm trying to do it. But just going through each one of them. Some of these have like Phillips head. This one has Phillips, but also slotted. The slotted seem to work a little bit better, so I just go through each one of them, make sure they're tight, because if that's loose, it's obviously going to be vibrating, having that weight shift around. So all fans have a little bit of vibration. Some of them are better than others. Like this one, actually, you can see it's moving around, but it actually helps because it actually sits on a socket that gives it some freedom, so it's not stuck, and that it can kind of absorb that vibration. But again, I'm just kind of working on each part here just to see what could be the problem. So the blades weren't loose, so I put that all back together. Then I'm going to look at the top of where it actually connects to the ceiling. So there's an outlet box there that it connects to. Again, mine has a little socket, so it's probably not this, but you can always do, like I said, just check this part. So there's actually usually 1 or 2 screws on each side where that base attaches to the outlet box to the ceiling. And again, if that's a little bit off, that may be causing some squeaking. It's most likely not in this, just because it has that ball that allows it to move around, so it can absorb any of those vibrations. But it's best just to kind of work on these easy parts first. And then the next, so really it's most likely the fan blades. That's what I'm working on here. You're going to have to go through and try to figure out which one it is. It's kind of trial and error, but I found one of the good ways to at least figure out how to start off with is to get a ruler and then use it, touch into the same place on the ceiling every time, just so you're measuring at the same location on each fan blade. I usually try to pick out some indentation or something there, and then just measure the height from the ceiling to the fan blade. And sometimes you can get an idea of which one is sagging or different, and maybe that's the one you can start off with. Again, you have to measure it in the exact same place of the ceiling each time, or you're not going to get a good measurement because your ceiling may be off, or maybe sloping a little bit. So I found this is the easiest way. So if you look at the instructions, they'll tell you to put this little clip, which I'll show you here. So there's that little temporary clip. You put that up. What you're going to do is put that on each one of the blades, and then run the fan, and then that on the right side is the permanent one once you figure it out. So again, you're going to put this on the trailing edge, and so it'll be in the instructions. Usually these fans, when you buy them, they come with this kit, or you can buy one as well. I still had this from when I installed it. So again, you're going to put it on there and then just watch it and also listen. So I'm going to be watching how much it vibrates, and then obviously I know that sound is pretty loud. If I'm on the wrong one, I'm not going to be able to. It's obviously not going to sound any better. So I'm still getting that noise. So the next is to again, I'm just watching the vibration as well. The noise is going. So what you do is then just take it, and then put it on the next blade, and then you just keep repeating this. And that's why I said measuring it may sometimes give you a better idea of which one it may be. May not always be, but I still use this process elimination. You can also go through the different speeds, because sometimes there's one that's like in mine where it's the worst case, but when I try to find and testing this, is just listening to different speeds: higher speed, lower speed, back to the one that I know makes the noise, which is this one right here. That really annoying vibrating. So I'm really just testing it out, because maybe you don't want to run it at the same speed all the time. So again, a faster one, a slower one, and then so just process of elimination of just figuring out which is the best one, or which alleviates the issue of the vibration or the noise, whatever. So I'm going to go back to, this was the one that seemed like it gave me the best, or the minimize the vibration the best. So I'll go back to that one, and then just a final test, turn it on again, and I'm kind of watching it really just to look at the vibration, because I can kind of see it, not when it's starting up, but as it gets to the speeds that I normally use at. That's why I'm just kind of watching. So it's a little bit better. So you're just watching again, and then listening to the noise. So it reduced it from what it was originally. So once you find the spot or the blade that does the best for you, then you start working on this. What you want to do is put it towards the outside, and then just this process of elimination again. I don't think you're gonna put it more than 2 or 3 places. Usually it's in the middle, on the end like this, and then a little bit closer to the motor, if that. Because the more weight you put towards the end, it's going to add a little bit more, vibration. That might be what it needs, but you're just going to be doing that. So again, process elimination. Let's figure out which makes it the best. That location, because this is all just temporary. And then once you find that location, that's when you switch to this, what's going to be your permanent weight that's going to put on there and help with the balance. So it's got a little sticky on the back. So you just take that off, and you're going to stick it on there, and most likely it's going to be dirty. You should probably just clean the whole thing. But I'm trying to get this done and see if I can get this resolved. So just using a little wet on the towel, and just kind of clean it off, and then the dry side, and just make sure that it's got a good place for the weight to stick, because obviously I don't want this thing losing stickiness and shooting off in the middle of the night or some other time and hitting somebody, or just scaring the heck out of yourself. So you just want to press this down on there just like you would kind of expect. And then this should resolve the issue, as long as you can work that balance correctly. You can see here, the vibration is much less. The sound is completely gone. So I think between the tightening it up, yep, thumbs up. I can hopefully sleep now. Between tightening everything up and working on this balance, it fixed that really annoying issue of the noisy vibrating fan.